Hey everyone! That was Special Citations 2025. And we are now going to start what we call our whole series, which is just an ongoing conversation roundtable with different artists who come to work and play with us. Just figure out, how their processes work and how they come to microform, as well as just continuing to explore and have conversation throughout the city about this whole short form micro theater thing that we're doing. Before we get into the big questions, I'll go ahead and say your name. Give us your just your basic intro slate, name, pronouns if inclined, and what brought you to Special Citations. Reading, writing, what have you. So, Josh Leeper, go ahead and start us off.
Hi, my name is Josh Leeper. I was brought here by Dakota. I am the artistic director of production at a short-lived theater company. I'm good friends with him, and he brought me in to write one of the little pieces for the Red Line, as well as reading a few parts today.
Yeah. Rob Spear, who's not Rob Spear.
Hi, I'm Christine Marie. She, her. I started with microChicago, I guess, a little over a year now, because I am a producer for the Yippiefest, which we're looking for venues now, if you know anything. We have done the Rhino Fest now together, as well as a bunch of other projects, and I'm an ensemble member in the performance way, and I'll be writing for this quarterly.
Kylie.
Hi, my name is Kylie Reuter, she, her. I submitted a one-page play for the Orange Line probably over a year ago now, and so I'm here as a writer, and I got to do some reading. I'm a student at Columbia College for musical theater and playwriting. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Jared.
Hello, my name is Jared Goudsmit, he, him. I am a playwright, actor, a co-founder of No Dogs in the Kitchen Theater Company here in Chicago. I wrote Vitamin Flea for the Orange Line series, and I'm very excited to be here.
Heck yeah. Conor Leslie. Leslie Conor.
Hi, Leslie Hull, artist, educator, and I guess playwright for this, not always playwright for everything. Have written a couple pieces for various projects. I'm a part of another project that's budding about Brecht. Excited to hear more about that. And today, living currently in Michigan, but a transplant to and from Chicago. Also co-founder with Conor here of the Wayward Writers Collective. So any potential writers who want to workshop their plays or screenplays or anything writerly, we do meet virtually with that group. And currently teaching at a couple of different educational institutions and designing with theaters here in Michigan.
And I'm Conor McShane, and we've done a few different things with microChicago over the past few years. We collaborated, we both do our own thing, but we also collaborated together on a piece for Michigan for the Swing States series back during election season 2024. And then we co-wrote a piece today, Memento Vivere, which I got to see at Rhino Fest, which was super cool. And cool to get to hear it again.
And we did stuff for the Line series too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Welcome back. Bayani.
Bayani Decastro, originally from San Diego, now living in Chicago. Moved here in 2018. That's where I met Dakota. Became instant friends, and he brought me into the Chicago theater scene. But been with microChicago now for about a year. We did the Swing States last year. But yeah, nice working with y'all.
Heck yeah. Alec.
All right. Hi, folks. I'm Alekzander, he, him. Been in Chicago since 2019. Same year I met Dakota, and I've been so fortunate to be involved with many of his projects, including this one. I wrote the Irving Park piece for the Brown Line, and yeah, I'm usually an actor, director, teaching artist, but there was a slot to do it, and I'm a firm believer in doing things that scare you, and writing scares me, so that's why I'm here.
Yeah. Also runs a beautiful night in the neighborhood.
Yes, I wasn't sure if I should plug that, but I do host a monthly variety late night talk show here in Chicago. If anyone wants to come, let me know.
Heck yeah. Faris.
Hi, I'm Faris El-Kildani. I'm an actor and he, him pronouns. And I'm part of the Chicago Citizens group. I was in the body Politic last fall. And yeah, I am a part of microChicago. I try to get involved. I'd like to play, and it's exciting being a part of uh, creative works that are a little shorter, a little bit more creative than you might expect otherwise. So yeah, happy to be here.
Heck yeah. Osiris.
Hi, my name is Osiris Pinky Cuen. I use Ki, and kin, Kin pronouns. I am here because of Dakota. Surprise. We did Shakespeare together. Was that the first thing that we did together?
I think so, yeah. 420 Shakespeare.
Yeah, we did 420 Shakespeare. A baked or a Hamlet.
Yeah.
Big Prince of Denmark. Something like that.
Yeah.
Dankmark, yeah. It was a good time. But that's why I'm here. Artist, teaching artist, drag clown, playwright, singer, cane user. I don't know. But that's it. Thanks.
Heck yeah.
That was so fun.
Heck yeah. Thanks for coming. And closing us out, Tanise.
Hello, I'm Tanise Robnett. I was a resident playwright with microChicago last year. So good luck to all the new people. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. I'm also a member of the Chicago Citizens group, and I love being able to hone my acting, as well as my writing skills. Yeah, and she, her.
Awesome. And we are met. We have a quorum. You already know who I am. I'm Dakota, and I just run things. So I want to just kind of start us off with. So the way this kind of works for folks who are familiar or aren't familiar, I'm just going to ask a couple questions. I've got two that I kind of ask in all of our. They're kind of core to our whole series, and then we'll kind of open it up to just general conversation, see what questions folks have for each other based off of that. I'm curious. To just kind of hear what questions artists have for other artists. And then we're going to do a very micro version of our micro bites, which is just lightning round, fast questions. So it'll be 1-word responses, and I'll just ask each of you 4 words. I'll say 4 words, and you just give me your like rapid fire, what's the word right off that. Yeah. And that's kind of the rundown. And then after that, we'll all go eat something warm because it's January and it's cold. Before we get into the question, though, I just do want to say thanks again to everybody. Don't say my name. It makes me I'm the worst at compliments. So anytime people gush about this work that we're doing, it just makes me emotional a little. It's nice to know that we still have emotions, but I'm very persistent about microChicago would not be what it is without the people who create literally the bulk of the body that is what it is. I think over probably 3+ years now, almost 3 years, it's like, we don't do this for the numbers or the money or the whatever, but we've got a pretty decent till, and it's just really amazing to see this kind of thing continue to build. And so thank you all for just being interested in my mad scheming. And we hope to have you continue to join us, because it's a pleasure to see what people do with a single page, and then how people translate that, in real time for people to hear, Anyway, end of rant. Hard. Uh, so I guess starting us off, let's see. Whichever one of our playwrights would like to start us off. This first question: how does a play kind of come about for you? I know, like art and the nature of art in and of itself, we're always taking stuff in, but what's ultimately, or what do you find consistently is the thing that brings you to the table, and how do you kind of start to take this thing here and put it here?
Can we go in order that our plays are read? That'd be cool.
Oh my God, that's a great idea. Yes, and so start us off,
Okay.
Osiris.
Okay, cool. That just works for my brain.
Structure,
Um,
yes.
but what inspires me, and the question was what inspires or what starts the like playwriting process?
Yeah, we'll get the ball rolling for you.
For me, so I feel that I write a lot of plays about like my intersections, being, queer, being trans, being, indigenous and Mexican and bilingual and like disabled, like, and using a cane, and this like, I don't know, this like, it might not be a Mexican belief, but in my brain, I'm like, this Mexican belief that, humor heals things. And that's why you say it, and I think one of the ways that I think we're going to be able to accept others with disabilities like out in public more and try to make things more accessible for everyone is going to be like through comedy. And comedy really does stir empathy, and it stirs like laughter and joy, but also deep feeling. And clown, like thinking even like Mr. Bean, like very little words, right? So it's something that everyone can understand. And that's and also something that people might even relate to, right? Um, so I think, yeah, I'm really informed by my intersections around my life in queerness. And I was thinking about the story that my best friend had. My best friend is also disabled, but doesn't use a cane. I use a cane. And they are just so clumsy. And told me this one story about how for their work they would have like beers in the parking lot and how they bought like a 6-pack and they were carrying it and like it opened and then like one fell out and then like the other one and then just like the way that they were describing it and me just imagining it like in their body, I was like, that's really funny. And then I was thinking about, the struggles also of disability and public transportation, like as well. That's also like a big thing for me in life and also for people in general. But also like going to get groceries is hard if you don't have a car, and like now we do have Ubers and Lyfts, so that's helpful, but we don't always have the money for that, right? So like we so just like the kind of struggles and just laughing at it, laughing about the times where I tripped, laughing at the time when like the grocery bag rips, laughing, at this annoying ass little kitten, who is like, I think 6 months old at the time. And I was just like losing my mind. So it's kind of like all of that. So it's like all informed by like life, and public transportation is a part of it. And
Yeah.
it's layered, but it's my life.
Wonderful. That's great. Ugh. And then traveling right down the orange line, same for you, Jared. Like with Bubbly Creek, I feel like the limited knowledge I have, there's like some history there.
Yes, absolutely. To be so honest, the thing that usually gets me to sit down and write is um, an external deadline, to be so real with you. Which, as long as I know that to be true, then I can use it to my advantage, right? So yeah, when I saw the Orange Line call come out, it was it was inspiring to go to. That's the stop that I hit when I'm going to the airport. It's southbound bus from my house, and it hits Ashland. So I was very familiar with that one particular spot, but I did not know the history of it until I had resolved to write a submission for that stop. And then I was looking into it, and I was like, oh, sure enough. So I sort of snuck the history lesson into it as well.
And such.
And such. And the and such, which is a mandatory thing that my mom and sister and I all put in every script we write is having a character say and such. It's just a little inside joke we do, and there have been more than a few times that I've forgotten the and such and urgently written Dakota and gone, can you publish this revision instead? Um, yeah, it was, I've found that all of these microChicago prompts have been a great excuse for me to sit down, to tell perfectionism to give it a rest, and simply write something, and have my roommates read it, do a little rewrite, and turn it in. So,
Heck yeah.
Yeah, very grateful for microChicago for those kinds of opportunities.
Well, we appreciate you saying yes, and and Kylie, tell us a little bit about yours, because I remember the first time I read that, I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, I mean, most of the writing that I do, it usually has to spark from a person or a moment, like something from my real life. It's hard for me to connect to writing something into, especially if it's a longer piece, if there isn't like some sort of truth in it that I've experienced. With this specific piece, just a few sentences, it actually comes from a monologue play. So I just like took one of the monologues from that play, but that play was just kind of, there's like three characters. The first one's like a college student talking about her like privileged roommate, and then the second one is the unhoused individual, and then the last one's like this lawyer. And it's just kind of not like forcing you to think something, but just kind of start making you think about privilege, I think, because I think people forget, especially where I go to school. So I get a little heated because there's a lot of rich people. Not that, I'm totally privileged in my own way, but yeah, it's usually just like a person or a moment, or like definitely any sort of movement. Like right now I did a bunch of interviews at the No Kings protest, the last one. So I'm working on kind of like a docudrama of those interviews, hoping to do more interviews with everything going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. Well, keep us posted about all that for sure. And Josh, I think yours is just always is so sweet when I come back to it, because also we're good friends, and I have in our time together gotten to meet your wife, and you're just the loveliest couple.
Well, thank you so much, Dakota. And oh, we got the world is going on outside. I don't know if you can hear it. All right. Jared beat me to my answer, but like a really good deadline just helps me start and finish a play. Um, but outside of that, when looking at like, oh, you have this play that you have to write in a certain amount of time, the things that I pull are like life events. Like for instance, the stop that I picked was the Addison Brown line, which is close to the Trader Joe's that I like to go to. So I was like, okay, let's incorporate that. What I experience at that Brown line. I run into people all the time and talk about baguettes on the platform. No, that's not it at all. No, just life experiences and things that could happen and have not happened, or I've thought about maybe could happen in one sense or another. Just life experiences and subconscious life experiences, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then bringing us closer now down the Brown line, Alec. I know I kind of mentioned it to you, like I think a month or two before I put the call out or something like that, and it got the wheels kind of turning. But what got you set on what you did for this one?
Wow, Dakota, way to let everyone know that I've got this back channel to you. That makes me feel
Yeah,
oh guys, I'm not
we have
trying
a
to jump in line.
history. Okay.
No, I kid. Yeah, I similar to what you just said, Josh. I specifically, when Dakota mentioned it to me, he said Brown Line's coming up, and I have a lot of many personal feelings with Irving Park on the Brown Line, just because I frequently perform at the Bug House there, whether improv or my own show that I brought there, or seeing some incredible work there. So I just knew I would have like a very resonated. I would have some kind of whale to pull from, and I think one of the things that struck me lately is how mundane stories can be just as compelling as others. Um, I ran into this a bit this year because my grandfather, who is 86, decided he was going to write a memoir. And I kind of became the editor because he has a lot of ideas, but not a lot of prowess in the editing or printing or navigating the internet sort of thing. And he's also old and from England, so he has like a very unique vernacular. So I kind of took on the role of like, okay, I know what he's trying to say. Let me make this readable and try and preserve his stories. And a lot of them were stories that I've heard a lot over the past 30 years of my life, and um, but it was still compelling, even if it was mundane. If it was him talking about when he and my grandmother, had a flat tire on the side of the road and they were trying to get the car to someone. It's just there's something about the we all love our successions. We all love our kings and queens and people fighting for things. I just got done watching a lot of Bridgerton, so we love that sort of stuff. But I've been really loving, reminding us all the things that connect us. And I think that my imposter syndrome is not terribly unique. And I hope that a lot of people who interact with um, Irving Park would maybe walk away remembering that the people that you put on a pedestal might feel pretty impostery, and there's probably a bunch of people around you who look and think, wow, I want to do what they're doing. So that's all I'm trying to do there.
Yeah. I never knew. Oh, it's so great because I'm also going through some family like history stuff too. So it's just like, yeah, sometimes the most mundane is the most interesting.
Mhm. Yeah.
And speaking of history, um, on Leslie's jokes. Okay, we will address that. But before, speaking of history, we have a little bit, Conor and Leslie, from pre-microChicago days, but what and just every time we do Memento, I just have to be like, take a deep breath afterwards because it can be kind of a heavy piece. But what kind of I'm so fascinated because it's also aesthetically on the page reads a very different way than a traditional script. So I guess tell us about it.
Would you like to kick it off?
Sure. I even just today, having the gift of, because I wasn't able to come to Chicago to see it in person.
Mm.
And, Conor as historian can only relate what went on only so well because, it's alive. And I was saying, oh, it needs to be even more relentless because we could add about, I don't know, 50 more things in the left-hand column just since we wrote that piece. And that's pretty stunning in its own right. But I think for me, and we are very different in so many artistic ways, it's maybe why we work, I don't know. But for me, I see things in my mind's eye as real to me and in space and time. And I've always been really interested in the intersection between complete control and as a director or as an artist, that's always the temptation is full control over all aspects of the artistic piece, whatever it may be. I'm not a writer at all by comfort or desire, but I also want to all the time. It's a very complicated relationship, but I don't as a general trade, it's not my bag. I'm more in the director, actor, performer land. And so this intersection between control and the unknown, I think, is baked into the piece itself, but also what draws me to ever want to write a piece, because I can see it exactly how I would want it to be. And then it's never that way ever again. And I feel like as an artist, that's kind of like the pact you enter into. If you're willing to put your work out there in whatever form it goes out into the world, you have only some semblance of control over it. And then you have to enjoy the process of the unknown and the discovery. And that's really hard a lot of the time, like the majority of the time. And so I think that's what is just horrifying about the piece, because it's also about that. It's a little bit its own conversation about control and the unknown, and also the most exciting part, or the most revealing part, the most interesting part. Yeah. And then also the micro aspect of it is, for me, and I don't mean this in any sort of diminishment or lessening to the work, I think it's even more impactful. The smaller the piece, the lower the barrier of entry for me, as I look at the blank page and then jump over the gigantic judgmental voices and doubt and fear and all of those things. I say just a page, just 10 sentences, and it makes it like so few things in life digestible, and gives permission in a weird way. Because length, I think, if you've ever tried something really long, like a full length anything as an artist, or a big piece of anything as an artist, it's a big wall, it's a big ocean. So how beautiful the little amuse-bouche can be. just the taste.
And then Conor, yeah, how does I guess kind of coming as more the writer aspect of the duo, how does that kind of work, the collaboration there?
I feel like what we've kind of settled on that I think seems to work the best for us is like, we'll talk through what it is that we really want to do. And we were both interested in this idea of what they call psychic numbing, which is the phenomenon where you're kind of like, when you're bombarded with like all this tragedy on a daily basis, which we very much are, especially, with the internet and social media and the access that we have to all of it, just, on a constant basis, that it kind of like overwhelms your empathy in a way, and your ability to really like feel and process what's going on. And that it's interesting because like it's kind of like encapsulates my approach, which is like, an idea can kind of come from anywhere, but there has to be some sort of emotional hook for me to really want to dig into and think like, oh, that would make a really interesting play. Let me explore that. And so like in this case, it was, it was right after the flooding in Texas happened. And I remember seeing a video that was just about these two brothers who were looking for their parents who had gone missing in the flooding. And it really like just hit home the emotional component of it in such a deeper way than even just seeing all the statistics of all the death and devastation and everything, just like on a very small scale, just this one story, this one family. And that idea really resonated with both of us. And so that was kind of where we launched from. And what worked best was like, we talked through it, and then I'll go off and write a draft, and then bring it back to Leslie, and she'll kind of give her thoughts and feedback, and we'll kind of go back and forth like that. Cause she's very much, she's the idea person, and I'm more the nuts and bolts kind of put it on paper person. And then she's also really, really detail oriented. So like down to like, even just like word choice, sometimes, and like how to, especially with these really short pieces, like how to pack in as much as you can, like into each line is really important. So like even just like the wording of the line to kind of get like the maximum impact. And so I feel like that seems to work better for us than like sitting down together and like typing it out line by line. I feel like just gets a little gets a little tedious. So
It would never.
Yeah,
we could never.
Yeah, so we've figured out that system that I think works.
Yeah, and you gotta kind of, from what I'm hearing, a lot of folks, either you have a deadline, right, and that kind of gets the juices flowing, or you just naturally are. It feels like we all are naturally just kind of pulling subconsciously, or just from the tangible things around us, and then somehow you
Definitely,
find
yeah.
a process and you get there, and then it changes over time, maybe. But I always think it's a fascinating question. It's just like, it's not even one size fits all. Everyone kind of comes to it in different ways, and it evolves. And I think that just speaks to the great thing about live theater. Who needs bots and whatnot? I do want to bring in also our Chicago Citizens group members, because it's been a wonderful little reunion whenever we can get each other back post Body Politic. Speaking of just a wild time. So I want to go ahead and invite them in. We're going to play a quick little game, and then we're just going to kind of leave it with, I'd love to hear just kind of their reactions from hearing the work and coming to some of this stuff for the first time. And also, like, again, and what that means. And then we'll just kind of chat a little bit, just soft end into chatting about what everyone else has going on coming up, and how folks can come see more of your work, or see more of your work, or hear more of your work. So this is Microbytes, and it's continually evolving. But today we're going to do one-word responses. I've got 4 rapid-fire questions, and I'm going to write them down just very quick so that I don't have to constantly be cycling between the things. All right. So the way this game works, I'm going to go ahead and we'll go, I'll give you I'll say your name. I'll give you the word. Everyone remember the word, and just give me your one-word response off of the word that I say. So Osiris, you will be starting us off, and the word, you just write off what I say, is cold, and you say
Ice.
Josh.
Snap.
Kylie.
Water.
Jared.
Bitter.
Conor.
Now.
Leslie.
Scared.
Bayani.
Today.
Alec. Faris.
Headache.
Christine.
Pushed.
And Tanise.
1993.
Ooh.
All right. And now we're going to reverse it. Tanise, you're going to start us off. The word is warm.
Puerto Rico.
Christine.
Tea.
Faris.
Blanky.
Alec.
Furnace.
Bayani.
Technically 2 words, but San Diego.
San Diego. Leslie.
Safe.
Conor.
Bath.
Jared.
Family.
Kylie.
Bed.
Josh.
Up.
And Osiris.
Hot chocolate.
Oh.
Oh man, you beat me to the next question. What beverage?
Oof, okay, I'll pick another one. Do I start? No.
Yeah, go ahead, start us off.
Ponche.
Ponche. Jared.
Lemonade.
Faris.
Coffee.
Christine.
Coconut water.
Conor.
Beer.
Bayani.
Gotta repeat it. Hot chocolate.
Leslie.
Water.
Alec.
Bartender.
Ooh.
Tanise.
Mojito.
Kylie. Kylie. Josh.
Tea.
All right, and then our final question. What is something that you are looking forward to? Alec. Say what?
One word answer?
Just give me a couple words.
Okay. All right. No, I'll do it. Heat.
Heat. All right. Bayani.
Food.
Faris.
The spring.
Josh.
The unknown.
Osiris.
Pleasure.
Jared.
Hangouts.
Leslie.
I don't know.
Christine.
Friendship.
Conor.
This is kind of a repeat, but dinner.
Dinner. Leslie.
Back to you.
Life.
Life. Oh, wonderful. Oh, and Kylie just jumped back in. Oh, where are they? Kylie.
Sorry, I lost connection.
You're good. So last two questions. Beverage.
Bubbler. Y'all know about Bubbler?
Bubbler. And what are you looking forward to?
Graduating.
Hey.
Man. Oh, don't rush too fast.
I'm taking it slow.
Oh gosh. Well, thank you so much. Those are our microbites. And it just it's always fun to just like when you're on the spot, you're just kind of like, ugh. And I also would probably not be able to answer any of those because I think too much.
That would be my next request is can you rapid fire all four?
Can I wrap it up?
Go.
Cold, warm beverage looking forward.
Cold but warm fuzz beverage Mountain Dew looking forward to weed.
Yes.
But
Fun. Rapid fire all four. I'm gonna do that for the next one. So I guess just to kind of leave us off, where can folks see more of your work? Where can folks see more of your work? I'll go ahead. I'll just keep picking the folks. But yeah, just give us kind of a rundown of what you're looking forward to. What's some creative stuff coming up for you all? Shameless plug. We're about to start our second ever MicroChicago residency. Christine is a member of that. We have Jared's another member of that, and then Yidim, Tanise mentioned earlier, a former member and an emeritus. So check that out. It'll all be rolling out on our Instagram coming up, and then also kind of akin to Gary's little bit about Greece and his experience with Greece. We're going to start delving a little bit more into Chicago storefront history. So we're excited to be compiling stories for a forthcoming in memoriam, the storefront eulogies. So if you happen to have any stories, send them our way because we want to hear them. But let's start here at the bottom. Kylie, you just jumped back in. What do you got going on? Where can people see your stuff?
I have a one act that's being put up in like 2 weeks. It's like February 5th and 7th. I can send the link. It's at my school. It's free. You just like sign up on the Eventbrite. So I have that coming up. And then in March, I'm performing in like this full-length devised play at my school. So that'll be cool. I don't have a link for that, but if you like amazing, check it out.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. How about you, Tanise?
I would like to do a Zoom reading of my first ever musical. So if anybody wants to act, feel free to email me, writingtani@gmail.com.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we can also drop these all in our email thread that we got going as well. Faris, what about you?
I'm currently in a Shakespeare monologue class. It's going pretty well. And really, I'm just looking to take up any work where it is. So I'm open. My schedule is open. I'm going to be taking more Shakespeare classes, and then I hope to be writing soon. So hearing all of your insights on your writing processes helped me out a lot, actually. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. Alec, where you just had a show, and I'm so sorry that I missed it. How'd it go?
Dakota, you did. Can you folks hear me? Just checking. I feel like
Yeah.
I've been having mic issues. Okay, great. I actually didn't, to Dakota's point, so I am the host and a co-producer for A Beautiful Night in Our Neighborhood, which is a monthly variety panel show celebrating the great things in our community around us. It's my own personal act of resistance to the horrors of the national news. We have a team of writers, and it feels very much like you're watching, your Colbert's or Seth Meyers, whatever. We have sketches, monologue about Chicago-based jokes, panelists, of which Dakota and Christine have been wonderful guests on before. And yeah, so we were at the playground this year for our monthly show. We were supposed to do yesterday, and we decided not to. As much as I thought, oh, well, people just bundle up; it'll be warm when we get there. I figure if every place is closing, I guess I'd rather be safe than wrong. So we are actually going to have our next show on the 31st. So if you want to come next week, they are free, they are fun. And I would love to meet you and perhaps even have you on as a panelist. The big crux of the show is I ask every guest to share what the most beautiful thing was that happened to them in their neighborhood this past week. Could be something grand like I had a baby. Could be something mundane like I ate a really good slice of pizza and the waitress rocked. So anything in that spectrum. It should feel good and cozy. So, but great to meet so many of you and see some of you again. And hope we get to hang out again soon.
Heck yeah. Jared, y'all got some stuff cooking in the kitchen.
Yes, we absolutely do. I've been organizing for the past few months, along with the rest of the team, the One Act Workshop, which we're very excited about. It's a collection of 7 short comedy plays written by local writers. We are currently casting, so here, I'll paste it in the chat. I've grabbed the link. Please consider auditioning. Dakota, I know I've seen, I believe I've seen your name in the Google form. So thank you for that. Yeah, please consider auditioning. We're very, very excited. Auditions are open through February 2nd, and the show goes up in late March. We're excited. Should be really fun, staged readings, and a great opportunity for us to build up some of our in-house directors as well. So really excited to be organizing that and helping put that together.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Osiris, what have you been doing? I've seen you strumming your guitar around town.
Oh, I've been doing a little this, little that. I was actually just learning how to do the Jeopardy theme song on my guitar, so that's like my new thing that it's like something that's like enough of a challenge for me to like sit, but I don't think it'll take longer than an hour. You know what I mean? And I think that's like about my time, like my span. But you can see most of my stuff on Instagram. I have 2 Instagrams. One is Cuentinflas, and the Cuentinflas is a Spanish story time, like an immersive Spanish story time that's filled with a lot of like imagination play. It's for youth or children and their caregivers. It's a way to connect, and also it's all in Spanish. So I'm reading these books in Spanish, and I'm singing like some, I guess, folklorico, like Mexican songs. Like a lot of remakes of old songs, and so that's what I do. That's Hora de Cuentinflas. So Cuentinflas. And then I also do adult drag, and I'm just like an actor and a grown human. And I do drag under the drag name. The literal letters, it's OCD's nuts with a Z. OCD's nuts. But it's OCD's dot nuts, nuts with a Z on Instagram. And I am a drag king, a drag queen, a clown, a thing, an insect. I like to have fun and dance around, and so check out my stuff. Also, I do poetry too. So just look out for that. And Instagram is what I have. Thanks.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks so much, Osiris. Josh, what do we got going on over at the Shorps and the Leaps?
So Short Leap is starting our second season ever, which is super exciting, and we're starting off hot with a gala on February 20th.
No, Josh
Some
froze.
of our ensemble. Oh no, I froze a little bit. Okay, I'm back. Some of our ensemble and some of our past artists, and as well as a few like local celebrities, compete in a spelling bee, an adult spelling bee. That should be very exciting. As well as hang out with us, learn a lot about us, see all of the ensemble that we have created, as well as some silent auction items that are really exciting, actually. So come out to that, followed by our exciting second season based around the theme Breathe. We got 3 shows that should be pretty good to come out and see us. We are residents of the Greenhouse this year, so come on down to Lincoln Park and experience what a Short Leap is all about. We also have our weekly study sesh that meets on Monday nights at Rotofuji in Lincoln Park. Go to our website, shortleaptheater.com, and find the stuff about Study Sesh. Sign up for our free workshop that meets eight weeks out of a quarter, and just meet us and come and practice your monologues and scene study or whatever you want to do. Yeah, that's a Short Leap. Personally, I got a few pre-production projects that I'm super excited about, as well as one that's in production right now. Not sure how much I can say, but look out for that. Follow me, joshleeper.me, to find more about that.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we got some stuff. We got some stuff in store. Can confirm. And let's see, who do we have? We have Conor and Leslie. What's going on the other side of the lake? Or in the city?
If you're on New Play Exchange, you can find a lot of my plays on there, subscription required. And one of my goals for this year was to do some more performing, which is something I love to do and haven't really done much of over the past many years. So I'm trying to kind of dip my toe back in that world. And to that end, I'm going to be appearing in a clown wrestling show in March in Detroit. A friend of mine who's gotten really into clowning in the last few years asked me to be a part of it. I'm going to be playing a therapist and doing a therapy session with a clown wrestler. So that is going to be really fun. It's at a place called the Tangent Gallery. And if anyone feels like coming to Detroit, driving 6 hours or whatever, it's going to be March 21st. So that's pretty much what I've got coming up.
Yeah, and again, if you're up for a journey through the beautiful state of Michigan, doing quite a few different designs in the spring for the Rep Theater Company, Flint Repertory Theater, and a few cabarets here and there, also at Williamson Theater in Williamson, Michigan, which is near Lansing. And then already booking out for 2027, which is weird to think that I'll have stuff already in the hopper for next spring, but that's exciting. And then this is a left-hand turn, but we're kind of on our own little journey with exploring end of life and death care through different familial situations that have gone on and also personal interest. And I find as an artist, per our playwright or our play title, this idea of memento mori as a tenet of being an artist in the world and a human in this moment in history. I'm gonna rep death cafes because it's something that we're newly interested in either hosting eventually here in Flint or being a part of the wider community of death cafes. And if it's not something that anyone knows about, we can sidebar and chat about it a little bit more because I can get on that soapbox and forget time exists. But I really do think as an artist, thinking about elements of mortality or how it informs your life is a really cool way to approach our journey through our time as a human. And so the Death Cafe community and all of its subsidiaries are something I think that artists should invest time in. And I think we can be leaders in that space quite often because we have better access to talking about those sort of deeper things. And it's a really expressive way to join into a community and talk about something really real and something that I think we avoid quite a bit. So that's one thing. And then also I mentioned earlier, the currently on hiatus because I don't know, life, the writers collective that we operate, it's very similar to this. And if you are into deadlines or having deadlines, we typically set out a month in advance deadline, and you can write specifically to that for a specific thing you're wanting to work through or workshop, and just have like-minded people read in real time and then give notes on anything that you're mulling over, or it's in the hopper, or you don't even know what it is for or what it wants to do. Just, a safe place to land. We offer that on a month-to-month basis. But then, like I said, we're kind of on a bit of a pause, but we're hoping to reach out in the next couple months. So take a look at that. We're on social media under the same name. Typeset's the overseeing theater company, and then Wayward Writers Collective is the actual event.
Awesome. Great. Fantastic. And then Christine, what do you got cooking for Yippiefest? Anything?
Well, Yippiefest is one thing, but in about an hour and 10 minutes, if you are local to Q4 radio, you can hear me review pop songs on Bottoms of the Barrel. And if you're not local, you can go on q4.com and hear the show live. And as for Yippiefest, there's Yippiefest, but I also have this immersive piece tentatively called Peep Show in the works that Dakota and Tanise and everybody's going to be part of eventually. We are currently looking for a venue, which there are new insurance requirements that I'm learning about today. So there's that. And as for Yippiefest, Rhino Fest, any of the festivals, a couple people mentioned being teaching artists. I'm also a teaching artist. I have a couple of dance classes and stuff, but I also sell bears that I knit and some other pieces of fiber arts at the Fat Cat Art Gallery in Oak Park, which is part of why I get to write for the Green Line this time around. And yeah, as for things I have coming up, I'm the resident, I'm one of the 3 resident writers this time. Ta-da! I'm sure there's more. Oh, well. I act, I direct. There's literally not a title, especially with Yippiefest, that I don't do, and that's 30 plus shows in a weekend. So
it's a good time.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. And speaking of good times, I think the perfect moment to kind of off ramp us here and just say thanks again, everyone, for jumping in, and for anyone who ends up, watching our whole and watching our special citations reading. That'll all just be living on our YouTube. But thank you all for being a part of this last year. We look forward to having you again this year. And hopefully back in some capacity with special citations, because I'm going to do this the next year. But we just appreciate, again, all of you for the energy and the time that you bring and give and share. And it means a lot that you're part of this continuing exploration and play with us as we continue. And we hope that you'll all join us in continuing to explore the infinite space of small.